How to improve your English listening and reading skills. When someone speaks a language, we often translate it into our mother tongue to understand. But today, I want you to stop doing that. From now on, when you listen to English, try to understand it directly in English. Don't think in your native language. Will you try this? 1. Listening for meaning and language. When we listen, we usually focus on the meaning, but for learning, we need to listen for the language itself. When I speak to you, you're understanding the points I'm making, like why English is important and how to listen better. But for improvement, understanding the meaning is not enough. We need to focus on the language. When you practice listening, listen to the same passage or speech again and again. Repetition helps. The more you listen, the more the language becomes a part of your memory. We all have an amazing computer in our heads. It has endless storage, far more than any desktop or laptop. Use this computer to store English. Create a file called English Listening in your mind and listen every day. 2. Using technology to help you learn today. We have so much technology that helps us learn. 10 years ago, we didn't have these resources. Now you can record anything you hear, including English speeches. Record them on your phone and listen to them 10 times, or even more. In my classes, students use their phones to record lectures. They listen to these recordings at home, and this helps them improve their English. You can do the same. Every time you hear good English, record it on your phone. If you enjoy songs, try recording English songs too. By listening to good English over and over, you will learn the rhythm and flow of the language. 3. Imitation. Learning like a child. When a child hears something, they repeat it. This is how we should learn English, by imitation. If a child hears someone selling bananas on the street, the child repeats the words and the tone of voice. That's how we learn languages. So, when you hear good English, try to imitate it. Repeat the words, the pronunciation, and the tone. This helps you learn the language naturally. 4th, repetition for mastery. Listen to the same speech or passage repeatedly. If you're listening to a speech by someone like Swami Vivekananda, listen to it every day for 5 to 10 minutes. Do this for several months. The more you listen, the more the English becomes a part of your memory. This repetition is key to improvement. 5. Correctness in English. Listening to correct English also helps you learn to speak it correctly. In interviews, I often find that people who speak English with an accent or with mistakes don't practice enough. When you listen to good English, you will learn how to speak it correctly too. 6th, reading. Another foundation for learning English. Reading is another important way to improve your English. You all know the alphabet, right? So why don't we read more in English? When you see English signs, read them. Even if they are posters or advertisements, read them. Reading helps you understand how English is used in different contexts. But just reading once is not enough. You need to read repeatedly. For example, if you read a book about Swami Vivekananda, read it many times. This helps you learn new vocabulary and understand sentence structures. By reading the same passage many times, you can focus on the language itself, not just the meaning. 7. Practice every day. To learn English well, you need to practice it every day. Don't just listen or read once and forget about it. Repeat the practice daily. The more you practice listening and reading, the better your English will become. Conclusion. Listening and reading as foundations. Listening and reading are the foundations of learning English. You have already listened and read in the past, but to improve, you must practice every day. Listen to good English, read English texts, and repeat. This is the way to master the language.